Financial Jojo here, and this is the Deep Dive, where we take a deeper look at your favorite stocks and crypto. So don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. I really appreciate that. Also, don't forget, if you have a deep dive stock request, comment below. For today's deep dive, I wanted to take a look at the true value of Bitcoin. In a recent report sent out by JP Morgan, they said the current fair value of Bitcoin is $38K. So let's look to see how they arrived at this number. In the article, the investment bank calculated a long-term theoretical price target for Bitcoin by assuming that the total market value is equal to that of all gold held privately for investment purposes. This assumption is based on the growing argument that Bitcoin is digital gold, or store of value in the digital age. And according to the World Gold Council, there are 205,238 tons of mined gold with a total market value of over $10 trillion. But we can't take all of those tons into consideration when we're figuring out the value. So JP Morgan had focused on the amount of gold held privately for investment purposes. Their figure also included gold ETFs. So according to the World Gold Council, there are 45,456 tons of gold held privately for investment purposes. And 1 ton is equal to 35,274 ounces. Currently, gold per ounce is $1,897.35 US. With a little math, that brings the total market value of gold held privately to $3.04 trillion. And if we divide this by the total number of Bitcoins in circulation, we get a theoretical price target of around $160,000 per coin. So from that theoretical price target of 160, JP Morgan had turned and did calculation to figure out the volatility of both Bitcoin and gold. They had figured out that the Bitcoin's price movements were about 5 times more volatile than that of gold. So in the article, hypothetically, they had equated the Bitcoin's volatility was equal to gold's. And then they would take their fair value divided by that volatility. JP Morgan also assumed that the ratio will decline from 5 times as it is today to 4 times in the future, and will stay roughly steady from there. That would value Bitcoin at 160,000 divided by 4, which would give us a fair value of around $40,000. So if we go in there and change the assumptions, we could say that perhaps the volatility ratio would decline from 5x to 3x, which give you a theoretical price target of $53,000 per coin. In reading the article, there was a few things that JP Morgan was missing though. Bitcoin has a lot more utility than gold. You can use it as a form of payment. You can use it as an effective method of money transfer. You can earn interest off of it. And you can also use Bitcoin as collateral. And all this utility is worth something. If you look at, say, PayPal, whose value is tied up in electronic payments, is valued at $133 billion, while Western Union, whose value, like Bitcoin, is tied up in money transfer, is valued at $8 billion. JP Morgan's framework completely ignores this additional value. Also, Bitcoin's supply is capped at 21 million coins. Gold's supply increases roughly 3,500 tons every year. It is also to be argued that Bitcoin's true supply will decrease once it hits its final number of 21 million Bitcoins. So we can see at Bitcoin's current price, it is less than the fair value that we had calculated earlier based off of being backed by gold or replacing gold as a store of value, while JP Morgan's price value is at 38,000 fair value. So the main takeaways are JP Morgan calculated the true cost of Bitcoin at $38,000 per coin. Their calculation set Bitcoin's value equal to the total supply of invested gold and ignores all the other use cases of Bitcoin as a lightweight, near-instant form of borderless payments with very low transaction costs. As adoption of and trust in Bitcoin grows, additional utility will be added and value in turn will grow. The true value of Bitcoin, in my opinion, will be closer to $49,000, in which I included the money transfer utility not included by JP Morgan. Once again, if you like this kind of content, please hit that like and subscribe button and leave me a message below what you'd like to see on the next deep dive. Thank you again.